Hi, little Andy here, back in the cave, something a little bit different. Nothing's going to change with the channel, still going to be making random things and crazy stuff here and there, but I'm going to do a series of short videos on some of the products that we offer from Accuracy by Volume, some of the custom stuff that we do, with some usage tips on how to get the best out of the equipment, some of the new things that we'll do that you might not realize. And the first thing on the list today is going to be the new quad loading system. This is the CarbonQuad dual stroke quad loading caddy for your belt. Comes in a couple of flavors. We've got the little sister, the Aries, which is a 12 round caddy. And we've got the big brother, the Deadalus, which is the 28 round caddy. And it's just a little to show you of what it's about, the features of it, and the best way to get the most out of it, and some tips on setup and usage. So the system is available as left or right handed. It can't be swapped, which I don't think is an issue, because to be fair, if you're new to practical shotgun, what you'll be using these for, once you've decided on which hand you're going to load, the chances of you changing is slim. Obviously, those of you out there who are currently doing it now, I mean, if you think about it and think back, when was the last time, once you've got your belt set up, when did you swap them from left to right? Never. So I know Maglo do, obviously, and other people, the Arctic one and things like that could be swapped from left to right, but these are handed from manufacture. The system is quite unique, the way it works. There's no physical mechanical moving parts. A lot of systems use spring for putting the tension on. This uses an encapsulated polymer with a little buffer which puts the tension on. Comes pre-installed with official Velcro huge strip for sticking onto your chosen belt of choice. This is my rig that's set up obviously on a Magload competition belt. Everybody loves a bit of Magload. Can't take anything away from them. Magload are awesome. You know, you don't have to use a Magload competition belt. I've got to know a couple of lads who run them on Velcro weightlifting belts. So standard setup, which is the 28 and the 12. This is set up for strong hand loading. The bulk of it on the right, and the little backup on the left for your starting or additional. The way the system works is that it is preset for the size of cartridge or shell that you're going to use, but it is adjustable. So I'll come on to that in a second. So we've installed some of the strongest magnets that you can get for this size, and larger than most other competitors use. So you've got a good, firm, secure fixing on the top. The buffer can be adjusted to tune the amount of pressure or release force on your shells. So initial setup to get this started, on the back there's two thumb screws. If you just undo these a couple of turns, it's the same system on the large and the small. If it's new out the box or you've had it set for a long time, you might find that you need an extra couple of turns and give this section a little rock to break it off. There's a silicon rubber pad interface between this to stop this from creeping or moving once it's set, even when it's wet. So the way we recommend you do it, if you take your two shells, set them on the bottom just loosely, and then if you move this up and down, a good starting position is where the top of the shell is flush with the top of the top receiver. So that's flush with the top there. That's a good starting point. And then if you nip it there, flip it over and just nip up the wheels, you can see an eyeball along this line here to get it parallel and straight. Give that a little nip on both of them. You don't have to go crazy tight. Just nip them up finger tight, and then from there, the shells then, as any other loader, squeeze it in the bottom, push it down, locks in, and you can fill up your loader from there. Obviously then you do a little test to peel them off and see what your release is like. If you're happy with that, all good. If you prefer a tighter, more secure fixing, you can back them off and move this a little bit closer or a little bit further away if you want a looser release. And you can tune it to exactly how you like your setup, if you like a nice tight grip or if you like them to fall out in your hand. Little tip on this, because you can set the tension, you can actually offset this at an ever so slight angle. Now, it doesn't take a lot of movement to make a big difference on the release. So if you find that you want a little bit tighter, move it in increments of maybe half a mil to a mil. It makes a big difference. If you set this off at an ever so slight angle, it means that when you start, your first few rounds can be a little bit looser off the gate. And if you've got a particularly aggressive stage, or you're a bit heavy-footed and you run around a lot and you're expected to be sliding into barricades or anything like that, you can set it for your second half or a little bit tighter and more secure. So your first few will come off nice and easy, but if you're running around a lot, you can have your second half squashed up a little bit tighter just to stop them from dropping out when if you're sprinting about. Obviously exactly the same on the 12 round. There's a little thumb release there. Obviously if you feel this one's tight, so it'll just give a little rock and you'll feel a crack off, and then you can adjust the height for different size shells. All fittings, it is strong, it is robust. It is also one of the lightest, if not possibly the lightest caddy on the market. The 12 round is less than half the weight of the equivalent Magload Nexus element. In fact, the 28 round carrier is lighter than Magload's 12 round Nexus element. It is very, very light, very light. When you receive your caddy in the post, they'll be well packaged, nice and strong. The 12 round one, nothing to worry about. The 28 round, obviously we love our postage service, but they can be a little bit rough. So when you receive your larger caddy, it comes with what we call as a little pizza box support. This is so when it's in the box, it gives additional support, so if somebody jumps on the top of it, it stops it from bending it or damaging it out of shape. When you receive this is just Velcro attached. This comes off, chuck that, just so in case you're wondering what this unusual thing is for. It's basically, it just sits on the back and it just gives that a little bit of support during transport. That's pretty much it. These are all available on to buy now. If you want any information, if you can't find them on Tinterweb, give me a shout and I'll point in the right direction. Hope you love them, and I'll be following up with other videos of other things that we are offering and producing. Thanks very much. See you guys later. Bye.